Hey Corey, how about the earthquake there? It looked like it was all shaky for a minute. Yeah, good. Hey Joy. I was hoping a bunch of people would show up today. I don't know what the weather's like where you guys are at, but it absolutely sucks here. It's cold, snowed a bunch. It's supposed to get even colder. It just, it's not a very nice day. It's beautiful, but it's not very nice. We'll wait till a few more people come in today, but first thing we're going to do is this is my Losi 8T one that we've been messing with a little bit on and off here and there. So this one is I want to switch the radio gear back to the original stuff because the guy that I bought this off was nice enough to actually send me the battery pack for their factory stuff, so I could put it back to the original. Hey, all aspects. Well, I'm hoping that this receiver works because I've never used it, so we'll find out. It's the perfect weather for doing some wrenching and hanging out in the shop today, with it being cold and everything. Hey SLC. You know, I don't think I've ever used one of these Spectrum SR3000 receivers, so this will be a new one for me. Hey Racing 393, you're back again this weekend. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep my eye out for a mammoth as well. Hybrid has that effect on people. inspiring people to go give stuff. It's good. I've stumbled across a couple of them, but the ones that I've stumbled across have just been beat to death. Just, yeah, the one, like you said, the ones that I've come across, there's nothing left of them. They've been well loved, put it that way. I'm gonna take the radio link one out of this one. That'll find another home. Actually, it's got to go back into my Vortec, because that's where that came out of. I like how the Spectrum, this one anyway, I've never seen this before, but the Spectrum one is actually marked auxiliary, turn, and steering. Usually it's channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. So that's kind of cool, actually. I've never seen that before. Here's hoping this works. Like I said, I've never used the factory stuff. It came with it. I didn't use it because it was, I was missing the battery pack for the radio. Hey, Harold. Even the sticky tape's still good in there. Find out. I wonder if I should test that before I fish this antenna in there. That would be the smart thing to do. I'm normally not all about that though. I like to just throw it in there and then see what happens. Which is what I'll do again. I have faith. Blind faith, but I have faith. The fella I got it from was pretty above board, so I can't see him messing me over. I've bought a few things off that gentleman now, so I can't see him screwing me over. The pipe that's on this is actually the TL Sport. It's the original pipe, Joe. So it's the TL, the Team Losi Sport pipe. It's the same pipe that's on my aftershock. So this is actually the same pipe that they put on a lot of the big block trucks. So it's actually a matched pipe for this 427. I agree, Harold. That last time I ran the boat, I had to swim for it. So I don't mind them. I used to do a bunch of them in the Maritimes and stuff, and I got out of them because out west it's not as much fun. Oh, there you go, Lotus. Now you're thinking. All right, see if this thing's going to respond. This is a Losi 8T V2. version. Seems pretty good. I wonder if is this servo sucked with that other receiver on when it was sitting on the ground? It's still weak. I got new ones coming, but and it actually overheats. So I got all new high voltage servos coming for this one, but this is the original ones. I find when I ran this, the steering servo gets weaker and weaker and weaker, and then all of a sudden it quits. So I think it's on its way out. So I will replace it with a newer one, with a high voltage one when they come. But then I can also run lipos for a hump pack, which I prefer. Because they don't seem to give me as much grief as old shitty hump packs. And it's an enigmatic spot, at least for somebody with fat fingers like me. There we go. I always like to do a test after the fact. There. Now, I also noticed this tire moved separate from the remote, so I'll have to glue that because that's annoying as shit. Fix that next. There. Body back on now. If I had to, I'm still on the hunt for these body mounts. I'm going to see if they're the same as the ones on the V3 Losi 8, because this one was missing one. It was broke off. So I actually just took an old T-Max one and trimmed it off, and it works for now. Hey, John David. That's the one thing I don't like. I wish this wing sat a little bit higher or a little further back, because it makes it a bit of a bitch to put the body on. Thanks, Joe. I think it turned out pretty nice, really, and the tires turned out excellent from our last week's live. I've tested them, and I've tested them a couple times now, and they didn't do anything goofy. So I did do another set as well. So, and they turned out, I'll grab them just so you guys can see. Hold on a sec. So remember how last week I said that those of you that were here, these wheels and tires, these were on these wheels, and I soaked them in the acetone bath. You can even see the old glue, and then I dismounted them and let them dry for a day or two, and then remounted them on some standard buggy wheels, and so they're reusable, because one of these I had an accident with and I broke the center of it out, getting a little bit carried away. So they're all re-glued, and everything is back to 100%. So this is another complete viable set of wheels and tires, set of 4, and these ones now, I just have 3 of these ones now. So I can see if I can find another one of these eventually, and then I'll have a complete set. But in the meantime, these ones will just hang out on the shelf, waiting for a 4th. So, but just so you guys know, that is a viable option. If you smash a wheel, you can dismount and remount. So. What's going on there, Lotus? Sorry, buddy, I wasn't paying attention. Thanks for subbing though, Lotus. I do appreciate that. Yeah, it is a viable option. I have done it to this ones as well. You got to be careful which foam is in them, because sometimes the foams it will disintegrate if they're the old style, like that almost looks like furniture foam. They go for a shit. But if it's that that like air filter oil foam, those will completely come back to normal. And but I keep spare foams from wheels once they get bald. If you cut them out with a pair of scissors, pull the foam out, and then soak them in the acetone, you can save the foams for another set of wheels, which is that allows you to reuse them. Yeah, and then I use my pizza oven to dry them. So it that little pizza oven works like a hot damn. And for you guys, if you're ever out and around and go to like those free stores or the Sally Ann or whatever, those toaster oven pizza ovens come up all the time, and they're handy. See, this is a set of reclaimed foams. Here, this is a set of reclaimed foams from another set of wheels. So these actually came from the Nitro Addictions buggy, because I burned off the original set of tires. Then I trimmed them off, kept the foams, and I just keep them on the shelf, kind of like that, waiting for another set to come along. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, the pizza oven thing. So I keep that you'll see it over there. It's kind of over there. That's just one of those little tiny pizza oven things, or it's like a toaster oven type deal. They work super great for drying wheels and drying the body. So if you paint a body and you want to cure it, you put it in there. And they don't take up a ton of space. Hey John, glad you could come. The weather looked decent where you were at today, where it was, so that was nice. Unlike here, where it's cold as shit and snowing. Looks like I might have to go clear snow again later today. Again. I'll have to check out 393's YouTube page. That sounds awesome. I love looking at the stuff that you guys get. The strange every once in a while you guys get some stuff that we don't get in this end of the world. So I love looking at the kits that you guys turn up with in Europe. Well, you gotta, the reason I like Just Joe, I like that little pizza oven is it goes all the way down to like 80 degrees. So, like Fahrenheit. So it's perfect. It doesn't melt stuff. And then if you leave it on the toaster setting, it's got a fan in it. So it dries everything super nicely. That being said, it does go all the way up to 400 degrees. So I have used it to put a nitro engine in, crank it up, and then use it to knock the bearings out of it, and it works amazing. Yeah. I've also used it for some motorcycle parts and whatnot before too. But as long as you keep it clean, like, and then on the same respect, I've also used it for pizza pops. Just gonna put that back, and I'm gonna grab something else. Just fits there. I don't see too many people asking where compass is most of the time, Bill. It's actually a vehicle hoist. Racing 393. My bike ramp I sold because it wasn't a big enough capacity. So that's a 6,000 pound hoist, scissor hoist. He probably is just Joe. He probably is dusting his. He's probably at 95 savages now. So is anybody, I'm sure that some of you guys have seen one of these. I did have a radio in here. I've seen one of these before. This is an Offna Pirate. They're not very common. They're pretty hard to find. It took me forever to find one. So it took me forever to find this one, but it's actually one of the few 1/10 scales that came factory with a big block engine in them. So this is actually a 1/10 scale truck with a .21, a Hyper 21 engine in it from factory. Yeah, it's the Pirate 10. Oh, you see lots there, Joe? I don't see them around here. I ended up getting this one in Edmonton. The only thing that I'd like to try and find is the battery box is like really goofy. So there's nothing for the receiver, so it's not waterproof, obviously. So to clean it is, you gotta be super careful or I fry the electronics. So when I have taken it outside, I put the receiver in a baggie and then zip tie it on there, so I don't ruin it. This one runs beautiful. I forgot that I put a radio back in this one. I don't run it much this time of year. Oh yeah. Yeah, so everything's all functioning, so it must be the Fortec that I have the radio robbed out of. We'll grab that one. Put this one back up where it was. This one is definitely one of the nicer examples of the ones that I've seen. And again, they're super hard to find parts for it. I broke this one running it in the winter here when I first got it. And I snapped the wheel stud right off at the outside for where this drive hub goes on. And because it is crazy fast. And I hit the snowbank with it on a weird angle, and I sheared the hub right off the end of it. I think I still got it hanging around here somewhere. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. I hit the camera. There it is. Yeah. You'll see I snapped the threaded part off. Look at that, it is this one. I even left myself a love note on it to remember that I took the radio out of it. No radio. So this one, this Fortec, it was actually a gift from Joe, and it's all original. I don't run it very often because I don't want to break it, because I do like it, and it's one that I always wanted as a kid. So, and it actually came from Joe. Yep, definitely no radio. Put this receiver. Oh shit, let me put this back. Sorry, Just Joe, what did you say? Let me look. Oh, Grizzly. I was trying to find out what the last one you had there. Oh, Grizzly, that's a OFNA Pirate 10. Is what that was. So that's it's a 110 scale truck with a .21 in it. So they go like hell. They're fast as shit. Like it's a nice rig. But like I said, I don't like to run it in the winter because there's no waterproof or even a shit deflector type of battery box over it, so the receiver's open to the world. Yeah, this is the only Fortec I've ever owned. And it still has the original Pro 15 in it, which is super cool. It does have the slightly newer Easy Start. The original Easy Start came with it as well, but it's that super big blocky jobby. Yeah, Grizzly, that's not the original body. The original. I don't think it's the original body. I've seen some where it looks like the original body, but then because that drippy paint scheme is period correct more or less, but I don't think that's the original body. It's a nice body, but it's not. I don't think it's the pirate body that's supposed to be on it. No, I think you're right, Grizzly. I think it's the MT HPI body or like a Rush or something like that. But yeah. So anyway, I'd like to put this one back together, maybe even fire it up, just to put a little bit of fuel through it, because I haven't run it for a little while. That's okay, JD. I just appreciate you being here, buddy. But I do need to grab that radio so I can reprogram. First thing I gotta do is rename it. Before I get too carried away, I'll rename that thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Shit. Ooh, that was close. I changed it to Chinese, and I didn't know how to change it back. That was almost bad. That would have been shitty. Because this radio, most of my buggies run off this radio. There. There. Fixed. Well, I would think, you know what, that's one thing, like a bunch of you guys have bought a bunch of nitros off of eBay, and believe it or not, none of these, with the exception of this one that Joe bought on eBay, came from eBay. Every one of these up here has either been somebody that's contacted me, or a trade, or a Facebook Marketplace purchase. And I know that sounds crazy, but and I've driven all over this country, like between Alberta, BC, and into Saskatchewan. That's where all these came from. That would be funny, just joke. I do have some friends of mine that speak Chinese, so I could have gone that way, but fortunately, I got it. I think the knot is the throttle.
packing this?
This one is such a bear to feed this mine into. Alright, before I tie that down, make sure it works. We probably got to reset all the settings.
No, and a 50-50 shot, got it backwards. Oh, that was backwards.
There we go.
Steering's correct.
There.
Now just to tie that down.
Maybe I'll just give that a clean up, put some sticky tape on it instead of zip tie. Yeah, I love this Fortet, Joe. It's great. Like I said, it handles amazing. I actually think the .15 is the right amount of weight, power to weight for it. I gotta find my tape.
Hey, Northeast Mods. I'm sorry, Northeast, if I ever keep saying Northwest. I don't know why. That's where my brain goes all the time.
Oh, I wondered if I could get that clean up. What that needs. Probably needs something stronger to wipe that down with. There's some residual fuel, I think, on that thing. There we go. That's more like it. That'll hold it now. There.
these Vortex, I mean, maybe you can get them going faster, but I seem to get up around that 40, 50 range, and then I can't keep it on the road. It tends to get air underneath of it and want to fly. So. If you need parts for that hyper at all, Joe, when you get to that point, let me know. I have lots of hyper parts. I showed you that green hauler bag that's the same as yours, no? Didn't I, Joe? I thought about upgrading this to a 3.3, but I like the all original aspect of it. It's period correct from when I was a kid, so that's kind of what I wanted. So Joe, that's the same as what you got except green, right? I believe. Hey John, welcome. Yeah, I picked that up at a swap meet for literally, I think I paid $5 for it. It wants to roll over. Let's see if she'll fire. Been sitting for a little while. Who'd you just contact, John Paul? Me? Oh, you're just connected to you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think the same thing, Joe, that the 3.3 is almost too much for this thing. I know some people will tell you no such thing as too much power, but in this light little thing, that 3.3 is too much. To go. Come on. Oh, of course, that's going to die now. I should have preheated it, I guess. That's the only thing I don't like about the easy start, you know. like that. Off and it warms up. Get the antennas on. That tends to happen a lot. The antenna gets a cut in it, and then as soon as you get it in distance, it won't give you any range. But usually a bad battery pack doesn't do that. Usually it'll be a cut in this wire. There needs to be a bad solder joint in there. Whoa. Nice, John. Probably your drink now. There, it's out of fuel. Perfect. I don't want to tune it too much because it's kind of got a storage tune on it, which is what I run with them when they sit parked for the winter. It's got great pinch still, this thing. There. There. Could be a bad receiver, but what I find lots of times, like I said, I don't know if you could hear me with this thing running, but this antenna wire, I had that one on that RC10, not the RC10, sorry, the 10T, and the antenna wire was broken, like right at the receiver, and I had to resolder it, and it would literally make it about 10 or 15 feet away from me, and then just take off. And so anyway, I took it apart, popped the receiver apart, resoldered the wire, and it was good, and it's still running on that receiver. I'm glad this one has a radio back in it now. So now it'll be ready for the spring. We don't all have nice pavement like the Nitrodiction there. I won't see pavement now for another couple months yet. No, maybe not a couple months, but probably at least another month or so before I see dry pavement. Hey, Ranks. I do love these period clips. I've never had these before with these big hoops. They're pretty nice. They're great for fat fingers. It's not the antenna. Well, then it could be the receiver's bad, or your transceiver's no good. Excuse me. There. Now I'll put this back. I'm glad that I got a radio in it now, though. Ooh, she's a little smoky in here. A little bit. I kind of like it because I had a friend of ours over the other day, and they was out here and they was smoking cigarettes, and shop smelled like cigarettes instead of nitro fuel. So now it's back to smelling like nitro fuel, so that's always good. Is it? John, just a stupid question. Is it AM, like analog or digital gear? Yes, Racing 393. I live at 6,500 feet above sea level. So we are actually the tallest, the highest community in Canada at elevation wise. So we're way up in the mountains, and we get a ton of snow normally. Have you tried just by chance switching the gear out just to make sure that it's not, like swap it with another car, just to see if it's something to do with the car or the battery pack or something, just to eliminate it? I'd try that first, just swap it with something else. No, we didn't think that, JD. It's all good, buddy. Yeah, I have had that as well, Rinks. I've had a shitty servo that was causing a backfeed loop, and it was just pulling my hair out trying to get it. I even tried. That's why I said try different radio gear. Then you can eliminate the car. But that's what I did, is I swapped it with different radio gear, and it didn't change. And so I knew it wasn't the radio gear, and it was bad servo. What else was I gonna do today? Well, hybrid, you still on there? I didn't know if you had to run or not. Just wait to see if he's still kicking on here or he had to go.
So, hybrid actually, I don't know if he's, like I said, still on here or not, but he actually happens to have a kit that I want desperately. He has an original USA one. He posted it on his video like about 6 months ago or so, and I want to get it off him because the original USA one was my first Nitro RC car, and I want to get one again, and he has one, so I'm trying to organize a trade with him for my Pico Genesis. So, because he has a track to run the Pico Genesis on, I don't have any good place to run it. So, and he loves the vintage pan car stuff, so it'll go to a good home, which is what I'd love to see. So, this is actually the original body for an original USA one. So I'm hoping that if he will trade me, I have an original body for the one that he has. I don't have the kit, but this is the original body for it. So I'm hoping that we can organize the trade, and then I'll have a home for this body. I like this body because it has running board lights and stuff, and headers, and a big block Chevy, and tail lights. So it'd be nice to have a home for this body. Breathing in where? In the shop, John? There's not even that smoky in here. This is good. I've got it way smokier than that in here. Plus, I do have an exhaust fan in here if it gets bad. Yeah, just Joe, I've been looking for an original USA one on eBay and everything else, and every one I find is either completely trash or they want $1 million for it, figuratively. You know, like they want, you know, I've seen them for like 600, 700 US, and I don't want to pay that for one. And those are ones that are in okay shape. And the one that Hybrid has is actually not too bad. What's the one on eBay for going for $393? Yeah, it's over 500. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. They draw big money, and then plus living in Canada, the shipping is ridiculous, like crazy money. So if I get some stuff like that, it's just nuts. So then you start adding the duties, exchange, shipping, everything. The next thing I know, that thing be $800 by the time I get it. I wish I was at sea level, JD. At least you could here. It's a little bit more of a challenge to tune here for sure. Yeah, it's tough to justify. I'd rather trade for a USA one if I could, because, like I said, especially if Hybrid's going to give that Kyosho a good, that Pico a good home. This is the one that I'm referring to, for those that are newer to my channel. Oh, I just seen your comment, Just Joe. Yeah, this is the one I'm referring to. So. So this is a Pico Genesis. It's a 1993 Pico Genesis kit that was made in obviously in Europe, and you don't see these hardly ever. I've never seen another one of these, and believe me, I was looking for tires for one of these, and because these tires are I made these tires because the original tires I blew up taking it for a run, so it didn't. They exploded. Anyway, these tires, I made these out of yoga blocks, foam yoga blocks, and they work not bad, but they're not glued to the wheels. So if hybrid gets this, they'll have to glue these to the wheels or find the proper tires for it. So you're asked, Northeast, you asked what engine's in this? This is a Pico, this is the original Pico engine in this. That 8-quart on-road Pico engine. Just a screamer. It sounds so cool, and it has the 3-speed automatic, well, 3-speed transmission in it. So it even has the matched Pico pipe to go in it. This thing is all original. So like down to everything, like except for obviously a shitty Traxxas receiver that I threw in there just for testing purposes. But it has the 3-speed transmission, 3-speed clutch bell. Like I said, I built these tires. It's 4-wheel drive. It's a great kit. I just don't have a place to run this, so it needs to be in a place that. I drove to Joe's point there. He just mentioned in the comment there that I drove 7 hours one way to get this thing. So and then 7 hours back to get this. So it's 14 hours of driving to pick this thing up, and fortunately, I was on a business trip and I managed to tie it in at the same time. But this kit was 14 hours of driving, and way up northern Alberta, which is a long ways away. Well, all aspects, I'll look you up if the trade doesn't work out with hybrid. I'd be surprised you have wheels and tires for this thing. It's got really bizarre wheels on it. It's got like a 19 mil hex on the front and a pin, like a really goofy pin drive wheel for the rear. It goes in pegs, like it's a super strange rear wheel. And I did find a place that has tires for it, but I didn't buy them because they were 80 euros for the tires, and I wasn't spending that on something I could barely drive anyway. That's true, Just Joe. If you find an original USA one, that's the going price for this thing. But like I said, I'm probably going to do that trade with hybrid if that works out. Because like I said, I also want it to go to a good home. Because it is a super cool kit, and it does run, and I have run it on my lives before. So it is 100% drivable and runnable. Just got to put obviously one new servo back in it because I robbed the servo out of it, and put decent electronics in it.
It's a good question, Travis. Why do we do lots of stuff? I just wanted it because it was rare and it was something to go in my collection. It's kind of a shelf queen. And I originally thought that I would be able to drive it on asphalt, but it needs really nice pavement to drive this thing on. I don't know, you could be right, all aspects, I don't know a ton about them. All I know is the information that I got from the collector when I bought this. And he figured it was 93. I'm kind of leaning towards the research I've done is kind of like the early 2000s, like 2001, 2002. And it is actually a Pico car that was made as a joint venture from what I can understand. And it's like I said, it's damn near impossible to find parts for. And the ones that I have seen that are, the Integra has more plastic on it than this. This has no plastic. It's all aluminum. The only piece of plastic on this thing is the bumper and the one battery cover. It even has, like, the rear shocks even have a little common nitrogen port to charge them with, which is odd, but I've never put anything in them. They seem to still work fine. And again, I know that, like, I don't know if anybody sees them on the nitro groups or what. Pat Burns in Europe is the one that in I think it's in Ireland. He's the one that put me onto a guy at Massimo Poldi in Italy for parts and pieces for that one. I did see that, Joey, that he had a DBX. I like mine better. Mine would eat his for breakfast. I will say that. You know, I don't know if that's something I've shown on here for a long time, to be honest, is that DBX. Yeah, mine is substantially faster. It is pretty much, it's fast enough, it's almost uncontrollable. Yeah, I do find that too, Travis. I like Haggard. He seems like a pretty nice dude, but some of his stuff is pretty messed up. So for a lot of you that are newer to the group, this is my Kyosho DBX that's been fairly extensively modified from original, and for a lot of you that are newer, wow, I'm struggling with pins today. Fingers don't want to work today. Yeah. This is the trash coat, me and Joe call it. So this started out life obviously as a Kyosho DBX 110 scale kind of off-road buggy, and So Joe sent this to me. We did. I can't remember, Joe. Correct me if I'm wrong. We did some trading, and I traded for this one. And the original Kyosho engine was tired. It was wore out. So I just was messing around, and I made an engine mount for it, and it actually has a Traxxas 3.3 in it, and a serial pipe, and a serial clutch. And this thing is light. It weighs like nothing, and and it is stupid fast. Like just absolutely. I actually had to put belted tires on it because the original tires, it got going so fast. The original tires exploded. So they blew pieces out of them, and it was hilarious actually, because a friend of mine actually got nailed with the pieces of tires. So it was a pretty awesome ride. Oh, I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, 393, he's an awesome dude. He's a great guy. And I've talked to him many times. I talked to him on Instagram, and I've talked to him lots. Please don't think me wrong and go bashing him, and we have just different styles of doing things. And you know what? I've learned a lot from that fella, because that guy can make anything out of nothing. He can take junk and make it run, which is amazing. So like I said, I have lots of respect for that guy. I watch every one of his videos he puts out, and I like the dude. Great guy. But and I don't blame him for the way he does stuff, but it's just different from the way that we do stuff. So yeah, I've sent him quite a few things over time, and like I would say we switch stuff back and forth, but I've sent him stuff, and he doesn't send anything to me, but that's fine. I didn't ask for anything in return, so it's good. That's part of the thing I love about this community, you know, just like the swapping stuff back and forth, and the just the camaraderie, right? Oh, hey, hybrid, you just missed it. I just had that Kyosho, the Pico down. Did you want me to grab it again so you can see it? Just waiting to see if my comments sometimes have a bit of a lag. So if I pause to talk, it's because I'm waiting to see how the comments roll through. Yeah, I would be surprised, Northeast, if you have to make them. Speaking of making them, so I was looking, and Hybrid was talking the other day about that Firestorm. I found this. This is what I built this mount out of on this one. So this is a old RC10 mount. and I took and just drilled holes in the bottom of it, and then put it in an HPI and RS4 at one time, and then that allowed me to move the engine back and forth instead of being stuck with that shitty the screw mount through the bottom of the engine that is non-adjustable. So these make a great universal engine mount for you guys. So yeah, these if anybody gets a chance to grab these, they work great for a universal engine mount. The other one that works too is some of these Savage mounts. You got to cut them apart a bit, but you can do that as well. Hybrid, you didn't answer, buddy. Did you want to see that Pico again, or am I just gonna, or are you just gonna watch the rerun for it? Okay, got you, buddy. Now I have no idea. Let's just see. I don't remember if I left a battery in this thing or not. So let's see what happens. I think the radio is in here. Yep. Hey, you want to see that? All aspects, I just put it away. Oh, there is a battery in there. And like I said, all aspects, hybrid gets first stabs at that one. That would be really shitty. I don't do deals like that. Also, hybrid, there's the body. The Kyosho body that I was referring to. That's the original USA 1 body with a nice big block sticking through it. I would never want somebody to do that to me, so I would expect nobody to do that to anybody else. I like wheeling and dealing on live streams. I've done it with John lots. It's good. Hey, Fiat, sorry I missed you coming in there. I agree with hybrid. I don't let go of my stuff very easy either. The only reason, and I know that his USA 1 is a little rougher than my Pico, but I want it mostly for nostalgia reasons, and I want that to go to a good home. Yeah, I think the only one I've really traded with mostly is either John, like Addiction, or Joe. I think Joe's the one that's gotten, between Joe and Addiction, they've gotten the only ones that I've really let go. All right, Joey. See you later, buddy. I agree. We need NAFTA for RC. There should be free trade agreement for swapping RC cars back and forth. I still think there should be some kind of free shipping thing for people that aren't businesses that just want to send stuff back and forth like hobbyists. My MBX8? That thing is pretty dope. Free shipping thing for people that are businesses. Send stuff back and forth. Let's see. I haven't fired this thing up for a little while. The old 3.3 runs good in this thing though. Reload the RCBJ, save the old fingers. Nope, either my glow igniter is dead or that plug is toast. I need another glow igniter. I think that plug might be shot. I need a plug to test it. Later, 393. Well, I think that glow plug is toast. Apparently it must have been dead when I put it away last. Yep. Man, some of these glow plug wrenches suck. Yeah, exactly, Bob. 100%. Wonderful Canada shipping. Hold tight for a sec, guys. 3.3 runs good. That came out of one of my old T-Maxes. I like that 3.3. And it's an older style 3.3 with the Energy flywheel. So it's got the Energy flywheel, and it has a Energy clutch and a serial pipe. So I think it sprung a little light. The clutch likes to engage a little early. But I find if I don't leave the bottom end fat in this thing, I can't get it to take off. It just spins out and does all kinds of crazy shit. So it's it's completely useless if you lean out the bottom at all. So, so it stays like this. But that little mount, the mount I built, turned out pretty decent. So you can see it in there, I think. See the mount, and then that utilizes the factory holes. There's the factory Kyosho holes. So, and it worked out pretty decent. Yeah. Pull the fuel out of that. Put that back. Yeah, I find that's the same way with that 10T. If you don't kind of baby it a little bit out of the bottom, it just spins out. So I leave the bottom end a little fat, and then that way I don't have to do that. Pull that fuel out of there before I put it away. I don't like to leak fuel in anything. So yeah, because this was a wildly specific engine mount for the Kyosho with that 3-bolt dealie on the bottom. Now that I've done that, I can put any small block in here. So it seems to work out pretty decent. Later, HPI. Thanks for coming, buddy. Sorry, I'm sure you've probably already gone already, but I appreciate you coming. So, and then I'm sure you guys looked at these goofy body mounts. I did that on purpose because the body this is the original body, and I didn't want to butcher the body. So what I did is I just built mounts to extend it so that it sits up a little high, but that way I don't have to worry about. I didn't want to hack the body all to pieces. So if I ever want to put it back to stock, I can. Because I still have the original engine and everything for it. So I even still have 3 of the original tires. Well, I imagine, yeah, because that's why Joey calls this the trash coat, because it's a Traxxas engine in a Kyosho kit. So I'm sure that the Traxxas purists will shoot me, but ooh, that temperature's dropping. Ooh, there. Shut that fan off. Sucking all my heat out. It is minus 25 Celsius here right now. Brisk day. Nice brisk Canadian day. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I have to do the conversion. I actually was out last night running an RC car for a little fella that was his birthday, so he really wanted to run one. So it was only like -2 or something Celsius last night, so we got out there and did some snow bashing and stuff. He had a great time, so it was fun. It was good. The little fella had lots of fun. I don't know if I buy that. Well, technically, I think Traxxas is the fastest in RC because they still have that electric one that is crazy, stupid fast. So, oh, I'll be right back, fellas. Hold on for 2 seconds. I gotta get something outside. Burr. Sorry, I didn't have to actually get something outside. I had to take a piss. I have just seen pictures and stuff of that new Jado 4x4 thing, and it looks fast. Not that I'm an electric guy, it's just, but it looks fast. No, I was really hoping, like, if they were going to make a 4x4 Jado, like they did, and they made that buggy, they missed a golden opportunity to get into the race scene. I don't quite understand why they didn't. I mean, they could have made a Traxxas buggy to compete in the race scene. I don't quite understand why they didn't. I don't either, Just Joe. I actually leave the easy start on anything that had an easy start in it. The only reason I didn't put it in that DBX, that engine had a easy start on it, is because I didn't want it wouldn't quite fit. It was too tight. Hey BBT, thanks for coming. What did you guys want to have a look at next today? I kind of got done what I needed to get done for kits and whatnot. So like I got that radio gear swapped around, fixed the radio on that Fortec. Did you guys want to see something else before we? We get going on to a different tangent somewhere else. I didn't know TLR got out of racing though. The Techno? Which Techno, John? One of yours? Oldest one, your choice. You know what? Oldest one. You don't want to. I haven't fired up the mini MGT for a while. We could do that one. Or John asked for a Techno. Oh, they're just not having razors on Saturday. Okay, I get that one. Good to have you too, BBT. We'll look at that mini first, because I don't see them very often. I don't remember the last time I had it hunted. And I think, if I remember right, there's no radio in this one. I think I pulled it out for a buggy. Ooh, it's even a little dusty. Sacrilege. So this is my mini MGT with the original engine in it. I did convert it to roto start because the original pull start went for a shit, and I actually figured out this Shergu Chinese Xing Lang roto start fit on from Amazon, so that's what I used, and it seemed to work pretty good. So I don't know, have you guys, not a lot of guys have seen what the mini MGT looks like, but that's what it is. And then it's pretty clean, this one. It's not been molested, beat up. It's all original parts. It's pretty clean. I guess there is no, I don't think there's a radio in here. Oh, I stand corrected. There's a radio in there. Now I wonder which controller this runs off of. Now the hunt begins. Not this one. I know that.
Found it.
I bet the batteries are dead. This thing's been sitting up there for a little while. I would imagine these are dead. There you go. It's alive. I thought there was something wrong with the radio. I swung it around and hit the wheel on the remote. I'm like, it did it right when I pushed down on the box. So I thought I shorted something out. This one's batteries in this are dead. I don't know, man. I honestly do not remember the last time I ran this. Like I said, this thing is just about as mint as you get, especially for a mini. I bet you it's probably been over a year since I run this. There. See, now see if I got a roto start this charge. Sounds kind of lame. Well, that's pretty much what I do too, BBT. I just race myself mostly. Me and a bunch of buddies get together at fields and stuff and just get out there and have fun. Kind of reminds me of when I used to do it when I was a kid. Just get a bunch of guys together and have a good time. I'm a legend in my own mind, in my head. I'm a master racer in my own head. We'll give this one a little bit of heat. I think that's mostly why I want to make my own track, just so that I can get people together and have some fun without being so serious. See if she's gonna fire. Come on. starts spinning fast enough. Where's my drill? Come on, baby. Doesn't seem like it's taking a prime. I wonder if this fuel tank's a little gunged up from sitting. There we go. Fuel's going in. Geez, usually this starts good. I don't usually get one that gives me this much grief. There we go. That's a little too slow. Loaded up. She's a little loaded up. That's odd. I'll lean that bottom out just a bit. I wonder if that glow igniter is not the best. What is that glow plug shot? Seems to be good, but seems to be the way the day is going. it out. Yep. The glow plug is either really tired. That's very faint. Very faint. I think it's actually the original glow plug. Yep, that's the original plug. We'll put a fresh plug in it. It deserves that. There. Jeez, on that. Well, it's good to hear, DBT. I need to do what hybrid does and switch these over to lipos, I think. These old packs get tired. There we go. That's weird. This thing usually fires up without any grief. Mind you, this is what I get for leaving it sit. Yeah, I can do that. Let me see if I just give it a little bit more of a prime. There's fuel going in there. It should fire. Wait a minute, no, there's not fuel going in there. I just got it going into a there's There's no fuel going through that line. Oh my god. I must have inhaled too much fumes today. Blowing in the wrong fucking line. Jesus. Something's pushing the fuel backwards back to the tank. That's odd. I can see it going backwards. Now I got that bottom end too rich. Huh. I know. I feel the same way. It's killing me. I'm waiting for that one way to explode. Doesn't want to keep holding prime. Yeah, usually this thing is not this big of a bitch. Like I said, the last few times I've fired this up, it hasn't been this cranky. And here going in there now, I probably got it fucking flooded. I should pull that out and check. Can't have them all easy, right? What fun would that be? Oh, she's flooded. There. That was flooded. Pretty good too. It's pretty splooshy. No, I didn't put, I can hear it going into the card. I didn't put any directly in there, but. I don't get it. I don't understand why that thing's being such a pain. It normally is not this big of a bit. We'll give it some heat. I actually haven't bought any for a bit there. I haven't bought any for 2 weeks. Compass. I agree, Art Ross. Something's going on there. Something's hooey. It usually, like I said, runs pretty flawlessly. I've never had that much issue with it. You see the fuel going back to tank. I've had that happen before, and I'm trying to remember what scenario it does that in. It's a new plug. I just changed it. And put that out factory setting. Put both these out factory. Start from there. Pull this cover off. Throttle gap is huge. Maybe it's too big. Some of these engines don't like to start when you raise them above idle. I'll try that. Yeah, it's pushing the fuel. I wonder if this line's plugged. Nope. I want to try the Haggard trick. Just blacking the carburetor. I've seen Haggard do one thing one time before, and it has worked for me. When the carburetor is partially plugged. I'm just going to get a long fuel line. Sorry, I missed what that one comment was there. Yeah, yeah, that's usually the way it goes, Compass. The one way's holding, it's turning it over one for one. I'm going to be the exhaust and see what happens. Nope, he's not going to go. There's plenty of fuel in there. By far, there's a lot. Well, that glow plug's not, that glow igniter's not working. That doesn't help either. This is gonna blow this fuel out of here. Pull the Bluetooth in off the pipe and go through. I'll try that. Put this plug back in. That's clear. The one thing I hate with these is the having to fish this fuel tubing back into this muffler is a bitch. I wish they'd have put a nipple on there. Oh. Fuck. The bushing fell out of that rotostar. a good night, Northeast. Not that one. I think I gotta charge some blow igniters. Sounds not bad there. Better turn the fan on. Not bad. What do you guys think now? That was a bit of a bear. Got it. It was a little foggy in here. The fan's sucking it out now. Beautiful. See how it starts now. I don't know if I like that throttle linkage is a little goofy. Call that good. Till the spring anyway, when I can actually drive this one. Looks like one of my roto start screws fell out. Which I'm not surprised at. I cranked on that poor bastard for a while. There. Now, pull the fuel out of it. I think that'll be good. Now, I shouldn't have as much grief next time I pull this out to try and run it. Anyway. There. Make sure that's where it's supposed to be. Put this off and that off. I think I will put the battery pack that came out of this thing originally back in it. I think this battery is shit. I noticed it was pretty much dying. Throw these out. Get some fresh ones. Hey, BBG. Hope everything worked out okay. battery pack doesn't want to work now. Okay, well, it tells me that battery pack's no good. I will leave no battery in it. Yeah, it's a 3.0, Harold. We had a bit of a time trying to get it running, but I got it. It was a bit of a bear. Didn't seem to want to fire up today. We got it though. Thanks to the guys' help. Always fun. Can't have them all easy. There'd be no challenge in the hobby, right? There. No, I'll put you away. Turn that off. Now that the smoke's gone. Boy, I put that back wrong. That's why it looks funny. There. It's funny, when your election gets to a certain point, everything looks weird when it's not in the right place. All right. Well, fellas, I think on that note, after thoroughly embarrassing myself trying to get that started, which we got it at least, I think I'm going to probably call her there. We've been going on for 2 hours. I noticed people are dropping off probably because it was getting a little bit boring trying to get it sorted, but we got it. As always, never give up. But I think that's a good place to stop for the day. And I'll say good night, and everybody have a great week. Hopefully, quiet for everybody, and everybody's family's good. And keep on buying old nitros and fixing them up, or buying new nitros and fixing them up. Everybody have a safe week. I'll see you next Sunday. And if there's something you guys want to see in particular, drop a comment. Why? I just finished with it, Rinks. I put it away. We changed the radio gear back to stock stuff. What did you want to see on it? I can bring it if you need to see something. Actually, I think on that note, I will just cut her off there. If there's something you want to see next week, give me a jingle, shoot me a text, the or shoot me a message on this post or on this video, and I'll gear something up for next week if you guys want to see it. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. I know you. Oh, Jesus, you have the 1.0 rinks. All right, have a good weekend, everybody.